What does the punk rock music scene have to do with success? Hey there, welcome back to The Journey. This is Brandon DeVere. Thank you, as always, for tuning in and sharing your time with me. I do appreciate that. You probably notice behind me, it's a little bit different, little change in scenery from what you are used to, but I'll get to that in just a moment. But also, stick around to the end because I have an announcement that I'm going to share with you that I'm pretty excited about that will kind of kick off where we're going for the next several weeks. So, what does the punk rock scene have to do with success? So I've always admired the punk rock scene, and my cousin and his wife were in town a few weeks ago, and we went to the Punk Rock Museum in Las Vegas and punk rock bowling that we've gone to several times. And I was just reminded that I what I like about the punk rock scene, what I've always liked. Wasn't really introduced to it until kind of right in my senior year, getting ready to graduate, right like 98, 99. In 1998, 1999, and I didn't really know much about it. The first time I walked into a club in downtown Seattle called DV8, it's no longer there. But I heard a couple bands like if No Effects, if you ever heard of them, Dropkick Murphys were there. They're like the Distillers. There were all these bands that I'd never really heard of, or maybe with my cousin a couple times. But when I went in and I just heard like how fast and raw and loud and fun, like the energy was amazing, and I didn't really realize it for a number of years, and it was reminded a few weeks ago about how like why I enjoyed it so much, because I'd been to concerts like ACDC and things like that, and like big big name bands, but none of them really sounded like the record that you listen to them because they were so produced, and punk rock just seemed so real to me. It was guys just grabbing their guitars, playing, and like it sounded like the record that they put out because it was just that's all they had. That's what they made do with what they made do with what they had, and that was always fun to me to see these guys just go out and do it. And about like just it was just determination. It was they had a dream and an idea, and they were just gonna go do. It didn't have to be perfect for them to get started. Excuse me. Sorry, I stayed in a hotel last night, as you can tell. But yeah, I don't know if the AC is messing with me or what. But what I really enjoyed about it was that it seemed like anybody can do it if you just got after it. You didn't need anything. You didn't need a special guitar. Like most of the stories, um, you know, punk rock guys, a lot of them aren't even like they're just using like hand-me-down instruments and then getting started. Now it's a little bit different because it's evolved so much that they're all like really good at their instruments, and you have guys that are actually trained in in music, like musicians. So the music has gotten a lot better from an not just an opinion point, but from like a technical aspect, because it wasn't just a guy or girl just grabbing a guitar as something to do as an angry teenager or whatever. But the reason I see how that translates is that, like, if you want to get something done, for instance, here I am in this hotel room, not ideal setup. I've already messed up with my stuff 10 times already. I had to walk down to the car twice because I forgot my camera stand. Went downstairs, uh, went to go get it, and guess what? The door I didn't bring my car keys, so had to come back up, go back and get it, then set it up. Camera wouldn't work, the mic wouldn't work, all this stuff going on, and here I am checking to make sure that the mic is still working at the moment. But that kind of stuff can lead to success, right? Like all this patchwork job. Like I built a studio at home, which I typically use. But now I'm traveling for the day, and I needed to do this video. But like the punk rock DIY spirit is, well, I didn't have to go like find a studio, or I don't have the perfect background. And so I encourage people to kind of have that DIY and not, I always say, done is better than perfect. I've heard that many years ago, and that's kind of how I've kept going through, and encourage people to get started. A good friend of mine, and I've probably mentioned it on this podcast multiple times. But he told me one day, he's like, you don't have to be great to start. You have to start to be great. And I wish more people would take that into consideration, because there's a lot of people out there that could create, like, your voice needs to be heard by somebody. And if you're waiting for that perfect moment, and it's not going to come. Like perfection is a myth. I just actually wrote a Facebook post about this the other day that kind of inspired me yesterday as I was driving to think about this post or this video that I was going to do today. Because it is a lot of times we're just wanting to be so perfect before things are done. And I like to drive that home because none of my stuff is perfect. Uh, I try to get better each time. I do a lot of experimenting on, what videos, like certain thumbnails, like on the for the YouTube side, certain thumbnails. What do I do for what kind of headline do I use? What kind of angles and things like that? Because you'll see, like I have someone editing for me sometimes. Other times it's just me just doing just by itself. And so uh, the I guess the moral is sort of the message that I'm trying to convey is that if you have the opportunity to get something started and you're waiting for that perfect moment, don't wait for that perfect moment. Get it going. Just think, even if you're not a punk rock music, into punk rock music, think of that DIY, the do-it-yourself spirit to get started. Eventually, you can pay for people to do things and outsource and all that stuff as you start to learn more. But as of right now, if you're just getting started, just get started. Just do it. Like click record and post if that's what you're wanting to do. So with that being said, the announcement that I wanted to give is also kind of in the spirit of DIY punk rock. Just get started and get going. Is that I know I've alluded to it, talked about it a couple different times about the Agent Attraction Lab that I'll be doing. It's going to be for the next 12 weeks, starting on Tuesday. Every Tuesday, Thursday, I'm going to post just some ideas for agent attraction that hopefully you can use and maybe even tailor them to yourselves. But the idea is to give to some of these agents that are wanting to participate in a rev share model and agent attraction, because the challenge I see is that a lot of agents believe that they are that you have to be like the common myth is that agents have to be like a top producer or a massive recruiter in order to benefit from rev share, and it's just false. Like you don't have to be making millions of dollars in rev share. Literally, you could be making, you know, maybe it pays for your internet bill because you recruited somebody. It's not like you can make a couple $100 and that will be successful. And I want people to understand that because you don't have to be this massive recruiter um, or big team leader or a broker or anything like that. You can participate in rev share and and have success at a lower level. So, and I don't want to say a lower level because that could be what your success looks like. I've said this and you'll hear me say it again. Some people want to sell 3 homes a year. And if they do that, to me, that's successful. Some people want to sell 300 homes a year. If they do that, I believe that to be successful. So the goal is to kind of remove that myth, give you guys, 24 basically videos, 24 ideas and strategies over the next 12 weeks, 2 a week, and then I'll sprinkle some other stuff in there as well. But that's going to be the main course, I guess, over the next 12 weeks, and we will have the Agent Attraction Lab membership where you can join. It's all free. We're just gonna have a spot where agents can connect, collaborate, and contribute. That's kind of the tagline, and that's kind of what we're looking for is getting agents to do that. So I invite you to come check that out. I'll put a link in the description and in the comments, so you can go click on that and get signed up for the Agent Attraction Lab. So with that, just want to continue to let you guys know, keep the punk rock spirit alive. Whatever, it doesn't have to be punk rock spirit if you're not into that, but just keep, like, have the grit. If you have an idea, don't sit on it. If you're something you want to do, just get it started and learn on the way, and you'll just get better and better. And actually, I'm going to take one more thing I want to say, because I had this kind of thought about it as well. Like, if I want, I'll use a sports analogy because I'm into sports, and it's easy for me to relate to things like that. But if I wanted to go learn how to play basketball, would I go out and like grab every book, go on the internet, look at all these different things, like how do I play basketball? Would I just sit behind a computer and just study and study and study? Okay, what shoes do I need to play basketball? Okay, I got to go grab these shoes before I can go try to play basketball. Or what shorts? Like what do I have to? What headband? Like all this stuff. What do I have to have? Or would I just grab a basketball and throw it at the rim? Like there's no other way to start learning as quickly than doing that, then just getting started. And then eventually you can look, okay, maybe I'll look up some drills and this will help me do this. So the point being is that you don't have to have everything perfectly aligned for you to get started. And like my buddy Tony said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So think about that, and I'll see you on the next one, which will be next Tuesday. That one will be the first overview series or overview video of what to look forward to the next 12 weeks for anyone looking to participate in Agent Attraction. So I will leave you with that one, and I'll see you on the next one.